us on LinkedIn Live. Jake Melton in the house.
No.
Stella Fossa, what's it about?
Who? Yeah, no.
Hey, welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important,
but who you know
can make all the difference in your job search.
It will.
My name is Trevor Houston. I got the Job Father with me, Foster Williams, and a very, very special guest today. We're excited.
Very special,
Andy Cook. How are you?
I'm good.
You guys are probably going to see a book name with Andy Cook's name on it.
One day. That's the goal.
One day. That's a
A
cool
book?
name for a book, though.
A book with Andy Cook. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I like it.
You like that?
Yeah.
So we're excited to
Marketing
have
with
you
Dr.
with us. We've got a lot of great content to get through today. We got a lot of
Wonderful
events,
content.
a lot of events going on, and a lot of things going on in the network. We're excited. It is the Christmas spirit.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Let's do this. Let's bless this show with a prayer for our listeners. Foster, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, let me do that real quick. So you guys, okay, bow with me real quick. Father, you know what? We have to learn to be obedient to you and be comfortable that you have us where we need to be. So teach us how to do that. Now, while we're looking for a job, we know that you are going to bring us a job. And when we get there, remind us that we need to be asking you what to do when we get there. So the important message today, and Andy's going to touch on it a little bit, I bet, is going to be reminding ourselves we will get a job, but what are we going to do when we get the job? Are we just going to get a job and stay in the same, do the same old thing that ended up hurting us the first time? So anyway, we ask all this stuff, Father, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. All right, so I know we've got a lot of things to be grateful for, a lot of people to celebrate. We've got some landings that have happened, and actually a real exciting story we're going to get to a little bit later that involves Andy Cook and this show, so we're excited about that.
Sir, yes, sir.
Let's talk about some of these landings. We had Adam Little. Adam Little, congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Let's get some hands on LinkedIn.
Congrats.
USA to the A.
Congratulations to you.
What a great fit for him.
I know. He is a tremendous cybersecurity professional, guys.
Yeah, we
Yes.
were excited to hear his story. He said that he had 15 interviews.
Yep.
Oh, that just doesn't even sound fun.
I know.
Brutal.
And young Harvey Anu landed. He moved to Pennsylvania. I
wow.
can't remember exactly where. The name of the company eludes me right now, but Harvey Anu. I said Henry. Harvey Anu, A-N-U. God bless you, Harvey, and what you do. Your attitude is tremendous, and we talk about that all the time, that our attitude determines what?
Our altitude.
Our altitude.
Yep.
And it absolutely did. They found
That's
the
so
job for Harvey.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's awesome. We also have another very, very special congratulations to get out to Vez Nakomo.
Yes.
Viz.
So I'm going to pull his profile up real quick. We're going to talk about his story. Guys, if you can pull this into the stream, I've got Vez's profile pulled up. But, it all happened from you being here on the show,
It
Andy.
did.
So thank you. We really want to dig into that story.
Yeah, we want to dig into that.
And for those of you that are on the live stream, this is super important. Things happen. Opportunities get created. And this is just an awesome platform for you to be able to comment in and connect with Andy. She's a
Absolutely.
recruiter over at Matrix. So you
Yeah.
guys need to connect with her. But what I would say what we need to do real quick is give a special shout out to our audience. Let's do that. Let's see who's checking in with us.
Absolutely.
We got a
some
really
good comments
nice
coming.
audience with us.
Tammy Dracopoulos said, "Hi, Andy. It's so great to see you."
Hi.
Tammy Dracopoulos is exemplary.
I love her. We
Yes.
have become very close friends.
We've got Juan Europe with us. Good to see you, Juan.
Uribe.
John Broody.
Uribe.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Uribe.
Jesse, what's going on? Mark is with us today online.
Mark
We
Elder.
miss you, Mark.
Yeah, he's got some personal things going on, so we appreciate you. We
Marky
wish you were here
Mark.
with us, but you are here with us in spirit and online, so that's awesome. Tammy, how are you? Ernie Vanderlees, good to see you. Melanie.
Merry Christmas,
I see
all
a lot
of you guys,
faces
but
that
Merry
I saw this
Christmas,
morning.
Ernie.
So Tommy Lindsay's on.
Oh, Tommy
Yes.
Lindsay. Tommy Lindsay's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Well, we just saw John earlier today, so good to see you online with us, John. Guys, we absolutely love you. We appreciate you being online with us. Here's what I would like for you to do, because here's where opportunities get created. It's super cool. I want you to put what you're looking for, all right? I want you to put a hashtag, and then let's say it's project management or IT. Go ahead and put that in the comment section. And maybe a dream company or two. Like if there's a company you are really, really hoping to get into, I want to know what that is, because, you know, there's this spirit of hope, you know, help one person every day. And you never know who's watching.
Right.
And if you put that out there, you know what? You speak out can manifest itself. So put it out there. Put it in the comment section. I
So
want to know.
here's just a little foreshadowing of as a story, but that's actually how we connected.
Yeah.
He put hashtag IT and
See that?
project
That's-
management.
How many times has that worked on this show? Maybe
I connected with
three,
them.
maybe even four.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how we connected. So that's actually a really crucial component, because as I go back and watch shows, I connect with those people even then. So
I thank you for so much for doing that. And guys, we have a network of recruiters from all kinds of different companies. You know, Andy's here with us today, but there are so many out there that watch this show, and they're looking for you. That's the whole reason why they're
Yeah.
watching.
And there are companies that, like Andy's, that, you know, I've been around forever, so, you know, I've been around
The
her
job
company before she was. But, you know,
That's true.
we purposely, Trevor and I especially, develop relationships with companies
Yep.
for the obvious reason. And there's so many blessings that can come out of that for the companies, for the job seekers, everything. It's not a one size, it's not a one trick pony. Is that what they say?
Yes.
One size fits all.
One size fits
Yeah.
all.
No, okay, so let's give a special shout out. I see John is online with us. He says hashtag program management, project management.
John is a great guy.
Good.
We've had some really cool conversations. He will land high end project program management guy.
Good.
Really good. Sharp
Hey,
guy.
Melody Robinson.
Yeah, Melody, we see you, HR specialist. So, Melody, we want to see you at JobLink. I'm going to pull this up too. Can you pull this in the stream as well? So we've got JobLink. It's Dallas HR event.
Yes.
I'm actually going to be speaking at that event January 9th from 9 to 11. I'm going to be talking about the whole rehumanize your job search, right? And I'm going to show you how to get the human element put back in this job search. So, Melody, you need to definitely be there at Dallas HR at this event. That is January 9th from 9 to 11. So I want to definitely see you there. Let's see who else we got with us today.
Lola.
Lola. Hey, what's up,
La
Lola?
la 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 Lola.
All right. So Tommy says digital
Michelle
transformation. Michelle
Yes.
Barrett.
There's
training
Michelle
and
Barrett. There she
development.
is. There she is.
Love it, love it, love it. Scrum Master James, what's going on? Good to see you here with us. All right, let's talk about some more
one.
events that we've got going on. So you just had Transition Point, right?
We had it this morning. That was our second event. We're doing a monthly super great group where there's a lot of job networking groups out there. And I think
Yeah.
each one has a little bit different. And I hear a lot of, popular names. But what Transition Point came out of the DFW Technology Prayer Breakfast Group. And it's a ministry really intentionally focusing on meeting spiritual needs during a job search, because it can be such a time of trial and transition and, just wondering what is next. And they really provide a great support system emotionally, spiritually, mentally, as well as some job tips and resources.
That emotional component is really important in this
Absolutely.
day and time.
Absolutely.
And you guys, you can go to dfwtechpb.com and then
Yes.
look for Transition Point. Matter of fact, if we could pull that in the stream as well, we've got they actually have a text service, which is pretty cool. You can text the word transition.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom that in. Text the word transition to 77513, and they'll give you updates and best practices on your job search and the next event and all that kind of stuff. But they meet at the Matrix resource over
It's
there.
right at our home office.
Yeah.
Guys,
Right
so
off a
cool.
Beltline in the tollway.
Yeah, if you are in IT, guys, Matrix has been around a long time. I know a lot of the leaders of Matrix. I like the way that they treat people. And spend a little time on their website. See if they have opportunities that you may be interested in. I'm a recruiter. I can tell you whether they talk to you or not. And connect with this lady sitting right next
Absolutely.
to me. Her name is Andi Cook. You would expect to see that name on a book. Andy Cook. And Andi is tremendous recruiter. You guys need to get to
Thank
meet
you.
her and link in with her and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Melody said it was amazing this morning. So
Great. Well, I'm
Hey,
glad. I'm super excited. Guys, if you can't tell, I'm a little lethargic.
You're a
today.
little hoarse today.
Yeah,
I'm going to kick it up,
I'm a little out of it today.
which is not a problem. for
We
me.
had the Mary Jerry Christmas party. Every year, Jerry Jones throws a big party.
How old is Jerry now?
Old.
Wow. Jerry, I didn't say that, man.
No, I don't know. Google it.
Yeah.
How old is Jerry Jones, guys? I want to know. Put that in the comments section. How old is Jerry Jones?
Does anybody know that answer?
Yeah, put that in the comment section. Well, we went to his party last night, me and my team, and it was awesome. It was a great time. Speaking of, I've got our Christmas party coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the stream as well, if you could pull this up. So we've got a holiday party December 23rd, and I want to invite any of the recruiters or hiring managers, career coaches, anybody that
Yes.
is in that space needs to get an invite. So this is a invite only. The registration is limited and required, so we're going to need you to register. But give me a shout out. Just send me a message directly, and I will get you an invite to this. Now, for you job seekers, that same day, we are having a workshop. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little bit here.
It's okay.
But we're going to be doing something really, really special for you guys. Obviously, you can tell we're having our holiday party with the companies and recruiters at the same time. So, but that registration, guys, I want to tell you, is already closed for the workshop for the 23rd. It's full. I do want to give everybody a heads up. It is going to be super packed. So if you are registered, just be prepared to squeeze in a little bit.
Christmas Eve.
Yep. So, but we've got something really, really, really cool, special planned for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And so, if you're coming, get ready. It's
Get
going to be
ready.
awesome. Get your elevator pitches ready.
Absolutely.
Let's put it that way. So, we're excited about that. What else is going on? I know.
Well, now coming up,
Yeah.
January 31st, guys, is the Frisco Career Transition Workshop,
Aha.
touted as being the best day, full day in job search that you will run across. Why is that, Foster? Because some of the top subject matter experts are teaching about resume creation, and we talk about cover letters and whether you might want to or you may not want to. We talk about interviewing and networking and all the things that seem to be good, the big major components of getting a job this day and time. You got laid off, you've been on your job for 31 years, and you know what? Your job has been doing your job. Your job hadn't been worried about how I'm going to get another one or how I find another one. And all of a sudden, you are caught out. A lot of times it's that way. Sometimes we see it coming. But, you know, a lot of times we get caught out there and we got to know what to do. And that's what Trevor and I, the radio show, Mark is not with us today, but he's with us in spirit. And we saw him chime in like I did 2 weeks ago. And guys, you got to know what to do and who to connect with. And we will fine tune this thing. If you're in IT, Andy and I we've been IT recruiters for a while now. We can help you zero in on some companies that can best serve you and people that you can connect with and things like that. That's all I do for a living.
What a great way to prepare for the new year.
I know, it really is.
Like
So that's
the-
January 31st?
Can y'all believe it's supposed to be 2020?
Is it January 31st?
It's January 31st. It is.
Yeah.
That is a Friday, guys. Friday, January
Awesome.
31st. Prepare your day. Let us have you from 9 to 4 o'clock.
It's phenomenal.
Invest in yourself, you know?
And there's
Yeah.
food there. It's not barbecue. We're working on that. But we'll feed you and drink you all day long. Just, Pepsi, Coke, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. I said
yeah,
drink.
yeah.
I didn't say Jerry Jones Maker's Mark.
No, that's not Jerry Jones' party, but
It's at a church.
yeah, but you're gonna go. You're gonna come. You're gonna invest in yourself. You're gonna learn some new things about the job search that you didn't know. So you need to definitely come out January 31st.
January 31st.
There's also another event I want to give you guys heads up. So Jewish Family Services.
Oh, yeah, Mitch.
So January 16th, the Who You Know Show will be there giving out free professional headshots from 1 to 2:30. And then after that, I will also be teaching my class again, Rehumanize Your Job Search and Create Opportunities.
Uh-huh.
So,
Something I didn't tell you guys?
what?
I forgot to tell everybody that that big workshop, that one-day workshop, is at Stonebriar Community Church. That's 4801 Legendary Drive in Frisco. That is the Frisco Career Transition Workshop. Of course, you guys can find further information on that on the search number 4 letter UINC.com website.
Well, let's do that. I'm going to pull up your search for youinc.com. Right?
Uh-huh.
Search for youinc.com.
And it's there. I did not, guys, this is my fault. I have not put the date in, but I will by the night the date will be updated, but I want to tell you guys on the radio it's January 31st.
January 31st. So make sure you're there. Guys,
The link is in the comments.
The link is in the comments.
Links in the comments.
You see it up on the screen right now. You need to be checking out these different sites. There's also one more that I think is pretty important, which is careersearch.org. Did I do it right?
CareerDFW.org.
CareerDFW.org. I
Yeah.
did it wrong.
I had to think.
CareerDFW.org. You need to go check that one out as
That
well.
one's amazing.
It is amazing.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
We said that kind of with a jingle.
All right, guys, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to hear all about Andy Cook, Matrix, and the recent landing that happened right here on this show.
Yeah,
So
we just heard something cool.
stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Let's talk to our audience real quick. We've got a beautiful audience with us.
We do.
Elizabeth, how are you doing?
Elizabeth, where's Elizabeth? Elizabeth Murray, girl. What's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
What is going on, Elizabeth J. Murray?
What?
Cash says that he's online. He finally found the show. We're glad he did, Cash.
Yay. So, guys, one of the things I've noticed is that, LinkedIn Live is still beta, right? So we appreciate you. You found it. If you're here with us today,
Yeah,
you found
really,
it.
you found it.
They do need to do something to make it easier for people to find the streams when people are going live. It is a little difficult to find them.
Can be.
And
Can be.
And if the notifications aren't consistent, because
Right.
that has been an issue where the notifications don't always go. But we appreciate you found us somehow, some way. You're here. That's awesome. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Good to
Andrea
see
Prater.
you. Aaron, good to see you with us. Guys, we appreciate you. We want to know what you're searching for, so put it in the comments section. You never know who is watching and who's going to come
Yeah,
find
that
you.
Andy Cook lady is always looking.
Yeah.
I'm always
Yep.
watching.
Yeah, we're
Like
going to hear
Santa.
all about that.
I'm like a bird on a wire.
Also, tell us what you want for Christmas. Put that in the comments.
Let Santa Claus know he's watching this show.
Yeah.
They got Wi-Fi at the North Pole.
Tell us what you want for Christmas. What's that job that you want for Christmas? That dream job. Okay.
Yeah. Guys,
Speak
that's
it.
something to be talking about. So yesterday at Frisco Connect, Trevor and I were there. Mark was there with us. So we had Walt Glass talking to us about how to find target companies. Now, the thought process behind doing that is you know your background. You know what you are a subject matter expert at. So the question is, what type of companies might be looking for that background? And as this thing has gotten more robotic in job search, you know that as you go in, if you have experience doing what that company is already doing, maybe you worked at one of their competitors or something like that, you have been there, done that in that very environment in which they operate. So that carries value. Andy and I and other recruiters like to see that because it's easy for us to go and take a resume or information on someone to a hiring manager and say, listen, this person has the experience doing
Right.
exactly what we've already done.
Love it.
Or, it's really good to stay in the forefront too, because
Yes.
I'll get a job from, a company will say, hey, who do you know that does
Nice.
this? And I'm like, oh, this person just messaged me. So that's always really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to the comments. They're pouring in here. So Tammy says the job.
Tammy, we got to
course.
get you a job. We got to do it.
John says regional sales manager.
She
Okay.
has a third interview coming
Yes,
up.
she does. She's
So,
awesome.
Yes.
Sana says yes. Thank
Sana,
you, Foster, for posting the show in your posts in LinkedIn. So thank you,
Absolutely,
Foster.
Sana. And thank you for being a part of us, Sana.
Let's see who else we got with us today.
Ernie.
Egbert.
Egbert,
There's
what's
Bert.
going on? Egbert?
There's Bert.
Egbert, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right, guys, welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important.
But who you know will make a difference.
Hey, Foster, I like the way you did that. Who you know?
Who you know?
Wheat thins.
Who you? I didn't even know I was doing anything
Who you
cool.
know?
You know, people my age, it just falls out.
Just
We don't know
happens.
what's going on. You know?
That
I'm
is so funny.
Cool on overflow.
cool
Well-
on overflow.
We are back. We've got a very special guest with us in the house, Andy
Yes.
Cook from
What?
Matrix. How are you?
Andy Cook's book.
Andy, I want to hear, well, first of all, thank you for coming and being with us again.
Anytime.
I want to hear a little bit about your background and how you got started with Matrix.
Okay.
And how long have you been recruiting?
So everybody's always shocked when I say this. So I've been recruiting almost 4 years now.
Some people are naturals. I mean, it's just that
It
way.
just
I
makes
was not.
sense
I
to
had to
me.
learn. It took me a while to
Oh,
upgrade.
no, it just made sense because so I worked in education. And turns out in
I can see
education,
that.
you can't truly pay bills like that. And so I was feeling the pressure of my son and getting closer and closer to time to go to school. And and so I wanted to find a career that I could have a passion for and still have that intrinsic reward of making a difference, but could also pay the bills. I was working
Yeah.
a short IT help desk contract, and my recruiter actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, you should really think about doing this. I think you could make this work." And once she explained it to me, I was
How
like,
that
"I got
happened?
it. I got it." And
Wow.
then, so I actually was in the hospital. I simple like kidney stone surgery, but I was laying in the hospital going, okay, I'm going to do this. And laying in the hospital, applied for like 80 jobs online. And I got one of them doing aviation recruiting. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
recruiting mechanics
John
all over the
LaMonica,
world.
you hear that?
And so I did that for a couple of years, and it just made sense. Like 6 weeks in, I got my first promotion. Like it just, within a year, I was offered a management position at a different company. And so I did that until my son got sick, and I was doing some independent recruiting while we took him to the Mayo Clinic, which he's doing amazing now. But it was just, that was my time of transition. I wasn't ready to join a team. I needed to be available for appointments. And, I got a job for a recruiting manager for Mercedes-Benz that landed on my desk. Well, I connected with several recruiting managers, and one of them was Kyle Rampy, who is my boss.
Kyle Rampy.
And so I tried to recruit him away from Matrix at that time before I knew anything about Matrix. And he was like, "You know what? I have a good thing here. Sounds like a great opportunity, but I'm not going to make a move." Well, I had never talked to somebody who actually liked their job in recruiting, because recruiting can be very like rush, and everything's about numbers. And there was something different about Kyle and the way he talked about Matrix. So when my son was better and I was ready to go back to join a team, I reached out to him. I'm like, "Okay, do you have an opening?" He's like, "Come talk to me." And so it really was, that stood out to me because he was passionate about not only what he did, but Kyle's commenting, but he just, it was so amazing that he loved his job. And so I wanted to be a part of that. And it worked. Like we came in, I had to learn the IT side of it. I told him, "Tell me what nobody else is working on, and I'm going to learn that trade." And it turned out to be mobile development. So I was like, I will become the expert on mobile dev. And
Nice.
then,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So mobile dev is kind of my thing. I moved into Java development.
That's a
and,
hot field, yeah.
But I tend to focus, about 90% of the jobs I work on are development jobs. But then it just worked. Like I love every single day I go to work.
Well, I love that. So I can definitely tell you have the spirit, right? So
Yeah.
recruiting can be a tough job.
Sure.
Yes.
What are some of the biggest challenges of being a recruiter?
Recruiting has changed so much with the introduction to automated systems. Offshoring has changed the game a little bit, and candidates are sick of getting calls, particularly if it's a niche skill set. And so if if somebody's getting, and I've been on the phone with a candidate and them tell me, count the number of times somebody beeps in and I'll tell you when it happens. And there were 7 or 8 calls in a 20-minute span that they got from other recruiters. So the market is really, really tight. It's a very difficult thing. And people are tired of recruiters who don't follow up, who don't, they'll submit their resume and never hear from anybody.
Crickets.
So the most challenging thing for me reaching out to a new candidate is, hey, I represent you. I let my account executive team worry about the client, and my job is to represent you. And so while I don't have the authority to just go to any client and say, hey, I have this great candidate, at the same time, you can have those conversations with me about I'm struggling in this area, but getting somebody to be open to that and take the time to do it the right way, that's my biggest challenge.
Yeah, I think you got to have empathy in this business, right?
Absolutely.
This is a people business, guys. And for some of us T-Rex recruiters like John LaMonica and Chris Gustafson, some of us, I'm glad you didn't have to go through what we did. But we understand because we were in the old days and we've been sped up and we see a lot of advantages to the way things are today.
Yeah.
Now, there are shortfalls, but you have to be able to see past the X's and O's.
Right.
Into the people aspect of it, and that's what the network represents.
Yeah.
Is that we do what we're supposed to do, mechanically.
Just
we do all that stuff, but we reach out, and Trevor talks about it a lot because he adds a whole lot more people personalism. And where's that book?
Well, I don't know where my book is, but treat people the way you would want to be treated, right?
Right.
That's in the Bible. So
there's a couple of ways to know whether a recruiter is the right one. And so I always tell people, do you have a way to contact them more than one way? So if you only have an email address and a desk phone, chances are they're going to be able to dodge your calls a little bit. Every person I work with has my cell phone. You should be able to reach your recruiter, text them, email them, call them, and then return your call the same day. If at the very latest, the next day. Ask questions like, hey, tell me about another candidate you were able to place on this team. Because now you're getting into what is your relationship with the client? Is this a VMS account? I'm not opposed to it, but when you look at a VMS that has 1 in 100 people get through, as opposed to working with a recruiter directly and 1 in 10 get through, you're talking about sometimes even 1 in 4, depending on the relationship. There's very different numbers there. And so be able to ask those questions. And if they can't answer those or are not willing to, they're probably not the company that you're wanting to partner with. Ask them what their candidate care program is. One of my pet peeves, one of my pet peeves as a contractor in IT was I couldn't get a hold of my recruiter until it was time to renew. And so ask that question. What's your candidate care program?
I have something I want to comment on because I see Michael Goldberg is online with us.
Goldberg?
Yeah. And we were at TalentNet, and I absolutely loved it. He got up, and he stood up on TalentNet stage, and he basically, he just started preaching, and he said, y'all need to quit ghosting people.
Right.
Right? And both sides.
Right.
The job seekers need to quit ghosting, and the recruiters need to quit ghosting.
That's good, Michael.
And he got up there and just put everybody on blast. He had everybody raise their hand. He said, "Raise your hand if you're guilty of it and you've ever done it, and be honest. Raise your hand." And so everybody raised their hand. They said, "Yeah, I've ghosted." And then he said, "Stop doing it."
Yeah.
So Michael, appreciate you, man. It's about having empathy and putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding.
I
what
heard
this is
Andi
about.
say a word. She said care. Now, honestly, you guys, probably the number one question that I get asked is, Foster, how do I know that I'm working with a good recruiter? First thing I ask you guys is, do they care? Do you feel as though they care? If you do, you're more apt to move towards them than someone that's just putting you through a process.
Absolutely. Do you know I never start a call, and anybody that's on that works with me will say the same thing. I never start a call selling you a job. I never. I always start with, tell me what you're in the market for.
Yeah.
Because if it's not the right fit, I'll tell you, hey, I actually was calling about this rollover at this company, but what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like it would be a good match for you. Let's keep looking. And being able to have those fearless conversations, I call it fearless feedback of, hey, I think this is a great fit, except for it's out of market. And having those conversations of, their budget just doesn't allot for what your budget needs. And so it doesn't mean that they don't value you at the level you do. It means that their budget is not approved for that.
Sure.
And so having those conversations,
happens,
coaching
yeah.
those, does your recruiter coach you? Do they coach
Yes.
you on interviews, resumes, things like that should be happening. If all you're hearing, and there's this buzzword in recruiting that's speed to market, speed to market. Everything's about get there faster. But if we lose value and I don't send the right people to market quickly, then everybody loses.
Well, that's kind of like Adam Little with 15 interviews, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That
Adam,
wasn't about.
Yeah.
They weren't about
Absolutely.
getting him to market as soon as possible. They were about finding the right
Finding
person.
the right
Yes.
fit. Yeah.
Right?
My goodness.
15
He ought to be the
interviews.
right
I can't
fit.
tell you how many people I interviewed at Matrix, but I will tell you Matrix has the average person there, I think it's like 7 or 8 years for recruiters, which is like unheard of.
I know that is unheard of.
And they wanted to make sure that not only was I the right person short term, but that in 5-10 years we're still working together as a Matrix family.
I love that. It's all
And
about
so-
culture. It's about culture. And, if a company's going to interview 15 times, they're probably going to keep you around.
Exactly.
Our
not-
recruiting
They don't want to go
vertical-
through that again.
Nah, heck, no, nobody does.
Right.
Our
What a waste of
recruiting
time.
vertical can be brutal, and it's really
Yes.
good to see that. And I am developing a relationship with Matrix, starting with Andy.
What?
And really, I met your
Starting
boss
with
a while
John.
back. Yeah, starting with
Andy,
John.
what is your why? Like, I know you're passionate about this, but
Yeah.
why are you passionate about it?
Yeah,
So when I left teaching, I struggled internally with that because in education, I started a teen leadership program where 250 kids were part of my everyday life. They all called me Mama Cook. And
I can see that.
they came to my house. I fed them. We went on retreats together, and 93% of my kids got scholarships because the program was just that effective. And I dreamed it in the middle of the night. It was just this amazing opportunity. And walking away from that and trusting that God had something more was a huge leap of faith.
Totally.
And so when I was working on the help desk, I'm like talking to this candidate or this end user, and I'm going, I refuse to believe you're having an Excel spreadsheet crisis. It was so trivial, and they were having this meltdown over something not working that was such an easy fix. But I realized the reason I'm struggling is because I'm out of my purpose. I had to find something where I knew what I was doing mattered. And when I started doing the job post, the job seeker tips, I'm not certified in anything. I don't have a career coach.
those are the people we need to be listening to. Actually.
I listen to job seekers. I listen to what they're struggling with, and I pray about how I'm going to answer them. And my passion is truly to help people connect with the right opportunity. And then the numbers come and everything
they
else
do.
makes sense. And like Kyle can tell you, I came into like mid-year, half of quota, and I don't do under quota. Like I am an overthinking perfectionist, but then all of a sudden everything started clicking and getting in place. And I'll finish the year at like 126% of quota because it's what I cared about. And I knew if I went through the motions, wash, rinse, repeat, do it good, and then do it again.
Do it again.
And so for me, that's my why. It's
I love
making a difference.
I love that. That is powerful.
That's what it should be. When you guys are asking me that question, whether I have a good recruiter, well, do they care? Number one, obviously you can hear that Andy cares. Now, you know the word I'm going to use now. Do they have a relationship
Right.
with their client company?
yeah.
Usually that answer is yes if they care. Usually.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Good.
There are companies, and I'll use some of your higher end companies, Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Toyota.
Right.
They have VMSs in place for a reason. So we still make a ton of placements with companies like that, but I can't pick up the phone and call the hiring manager.
Right. Right.
So I don't want somebody to close the door on an opportunity because of a lack of relationship if they're with a recruiter who truly cares and has that honest
There you go.
conversation.
There it is right there.
But don't hang your hat on that opportunity. So don't say, oh, I submitted the job. It looked great. I'm a good fit for it. I'm not going to keep looking because the odds are not in your favor. At the same time, those are great companies to work for. They just have some red tape in place.
They
So
got
I
red
don't-
tape in place in
Yeah.
which that relationship can help can help flesh it out a little bit.
So other than that, I 100% agree. I just there are some caveats that are beyond our scope of control.
We
That's
all
how they
get processed,
Yes.
but it's how we get processed, guys.
100%.
I'm an old guy. You know what I'm going to say. I won't say it. You already have heard. You hear me every week.
Relationship?
Relationship.
Let's see. Barbecue?
It has a lot of different. It has a lot of different parameters to a relationship. What Andy just told you guys is, does she know the process of the company that she's working
Right.
with? Does she care? All of that enters into an opportunity. I would rather work with a recruiter like Andy than somebody that's just calling and they really don't know anything about what they're doing. We haven't been working with the company very long. You can barely
Right.
even spell the name of the company. You know, you guys talk to recruiters all the time. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. Absolutely.
Andy, I got one more question before we go to break.
Sure.
We've got about a minute here. So, and this will just be a yes or no short question.
Okay.
So, do you have any fear of AI, artificial intelligence, like taking over your job?
No.
No. Bingo. Love
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we've got more, a very special congratulations for Vez and Andy. We're going to have, we're going to unveil, what was the word I'm looking
Unveil.
for? Unveil. What happened on this show. Stay
Kyle, I'm not
tuned.
going after.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thanks. Kyle put a comment on here. Haha. Or he said, "Don't bother. We aren't letting Andy Cook go."
Oh no! Oh no!
I said,
that
"I'm not
ain't gonna
going
happen.
anywhere."
That is awesome.
I love Matrix. I've known them for years, ever since I've been working with John Davis, and I like the way they do things. And I have always been a proponent of Matrix, especially for the IT people that I have been an
Right.
IT recruiter behind for more years than I want to tell you.
I love it.
All
we
right.
have a great group.
Let's talk to the audience. We got Erwin. She says, what's Andy's last name? Cook.
Marxist.
I just sent her a message so that I can, or she can see me.
All right, guys, we want you to put a hashtag and then what you are searching for, and then maybe a target company or two. Put that into the comment section, guys. We're going to talk all about how Vez landed from doing that. He put hashtag IT in this comment section that you're in right now.
Vez
Okay.
was not able
Right.
to be with us today, but he is with us.
He is
He
with
is.
us.
Wow.
He's at work.
He
Vez,
is. He's at work.
Vez, you're
He's
a
at work.
tremendous employee in person, is what my personal opinion is.
And it all started from a hashtag IT.
Hashtag
Uh-huh.
IT.
Hashtag IT. So, guys, put that in the comment section, what you're looking for. We need to know. It's super important. We've got a whole audience of recruiters who listen to this show.
Yes, quite a few.
And you know what? They want to find you. They're not on the show listening because of us. They don't care about me. I
Me
promise
either.
you.
Me either. Y'all hear me every week. So.
I promise you, they are not wasting their time to listen to me or Foster.
No, listening to
No,
me
I think
is...
it's the unit. Like
Yeah.
you guys work really well together.
Well,
We
thank
do.
you.
We really do.
Thank you,
agree.
thank you. All right, Brooke, how are you doing, Brooke? She says total rewards, human resources. Okay, Brooke, you need to be at Dallas HR.
Yes.
That would be January. What is that?
Beth said working from home. I'm going to touch on that, Beth.
Did you ever recruit or meet a lady named Brooke Carricker that used to work with you guys? I think
don't
she
know
may have been
her.
gone before you got there.
Probably.
I
Kyle
want to
probably knows
introduce
her.
you. I want to introduce you to Brooke. Brooke is tremendous. I've got to keep up with, but I don't know where Brooke is.
January 9th, 9 to 11 at Dallas HR. Job link. You need to be there, Brooke. Faux
Yes.
show.
Brooke
John.
is our HR director.
Oh my gosh, they're flying in now. Ernie says corporate security, HR director, Jennifer. Hey, good to see you, Jennifer. How are you? Scrum
That was a
master.
nice little
Brooke, hey girl,
song.
hey.
You like that? You like
That
that?
was
Penny
cool.
Sprague was at Transition Point this morning. She's
Penny
an HR.
Sprague. Who's Penny Sprague?
She was at Transition Point. She's an HR specialist.
I see.
Or
I see
general.
this picture of this Penny Sprague. Oh my God, Penny Sprague.
And if anybody is looking at accounting and finance, I'm going to pull this video. Can you guys pull this into the screen real quick for VIP?
Yeah, VIP's tremendous.
So if
Hey,
you are
Casey
searching,
Haston.
if you're searching for accounting and finance, you need to go connect with wearevip.com. Go connect with a lady named Casey Haston. She actually has
Or
her
Allie.
or
Allie.
Allie. Yep, she actually has her own podcast, the We Are VIP podcast. You guys need to go check that out because she's doing something very similar to what we are over there, and she's got resources too. You need to go connect with her podcast. It's awesome, guys. Do it.
It really is.
And, hey, go send her a connection request and say you heard about her from the Who You Know Job Networking show.
I want to give a shout out to the Thomas Edwards group. Hello, Don Garlitz and crew. So we saw you guys yesterday. We see you guys almost every Frisco Connect. That is a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Thomas Edwards Group. Now, guys, they are mainly accounting and finance group as well.
Guys, we want to give a special thank you to all of the companies and recruiters. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody that is partnered with us. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Dallas HR. Thank you, Jewish Family Services, all of the supporters
Yes.
and advocates of the show. We really appreciate you. There is no show without you guys. So
There isn't.
I mean, seriously.
You guys are the network.
You are the community. And to our job seekers, thank you for tuning in and being with us. Guys, one of the things I will tell you is there's a little share button at the bottom of this screen. Hit that share button because you never know who this can help. This can make an impact in someone else's life. So,
Hey,
all right.
Cash.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important.
But who you know.
Who you know can make all the
It
difference in your
can.
job search.
It can.
So we are back with Andy Cook, and we've got a very, very special story we want to talk about that happened right here on this show. So tell me, what corresponded between you and Vez
Yeah.
Vez, you the only Vez I know, man.
to help him land his job?
Okay, so he had posted, actually, I don't even know if it was the show that I was on or the week after, but he posted in comments IT and project management.
Uh-huh.
And so I had reached out to schedule a just kind of meet and greet call with him. And that same day, Wells Fargo reached out to us, and they had an urgent need for like 20 project managers. And so
Wow.
they had sent that out, of course, to multiple vendors, but I had already had Vez, in schedule. So when we're talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know the right opportunity. And I will tell you, it was prayerful. It was right before transition point. We had just submitted him, and there's a lot of red tape to go through to get through to Wells Fargo. You have to do,
Yeah, it is.
like, the first round of interview is this questionnaire that takes maybe 2 or 3 hours. But that's the first round of interview. And please give me a written interview any day. I'll be just fine because I can backspace and think about things.
Exactly.
And so I don't hate the process. It's just you have to be committed to it to go through it. And Vez was everything I could ask in a candidate. He was flexible. He made himself available whenever to talk, to answer questions. When I called him, he answered. If he couldn't answer, he called me right back. He has a positive attitude.
Very.
And he knows his craft. And so I could put him in front of any client. And so as soon as Wells saw his resume, we sent it over on a Tuesday, and I invited him to Transition Point. And, I said, I don't know if you're looking for a faith-based networking group, but if you are, we'd love to see you. Well, he came, and we prayed about that opportunity. And both of us said, hey, we really have a good feeling about this. An hour later, we got an interview request.
Wow.
And they did a 1-round interview, and he was the first person they hired out of that 20.
Dang.
Wow. Out of 20.
He was super impressive.
So you got 19 more to fill?
Nope, they're
Knocked
like
them
rounding him up. They're finishing up there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
We got some really good people over. Some that I met through here, some through Transition Point, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But he's one of my favorite people that I've worked with since I've been at Matrix, just because he's so positive. And we just, even the day that I had knee surgery, he's texting me going, "Hey, hope everything's okay. Wishing you a good recovery." Things like that.
Smell a relationship.
He's this is how rumors get started. But you know what I'm saying? Like he was so committed to building a professional relationship and having that move forward professionally. You know what I'm saying? Like it got us to the end goal where I could really understand what he was looking for, because he knew exactly. It wasn't this whole, well, I just need a job, put me anywhere. That is the hardest thing
And
to
job
work
seekers,
with.
we recruiters can tell when it's just a job. If you're excited about something, you make us feel like that we're special, and you're really excited about what we got going on, we are apt to put a little bit more time into it.
Here's how much they trust him. They couldn't get the contacts in place. Normally this position's in North Carolina. They couldn't get all the contacts in place, and they reached out and said, we really want him. We want him on the same day. Let him work remote until the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he just I couldn't have asked for a more ideal candidate, and I couldn't have asked for somebody more committed to the process. And that's when I go, I go through that whole Jerry Maguire saying, help me help you.
Right.
Like, and that's where if I can get candidates to realize if you'll stop and take those walls down for just a little bit, we can get to the root and I can figure out exactly, where you'll fit. And if you can get me on the phone with a hiring manager, 90% of the time I can find you the right candidate because I can understand what people are looking for.
Yeah, and you guys are probably still proactively selling something.
Absolutely.
We don't like selling, but
Hey.
proactively connecting
Marketing.
people, marketing people.
We've
yes.
got Vez online with us now.
What?
Congratulations, Vez. Let's give Vez some
V-E-Z.
round of applause, some hands on LinkedIn. Congratulations to you. Hey, Vez, I'm curious because I know you came through our workshop. Where did we originally get connected? Was it Frisco Connect? Was it at our workshop? How did you meet the Who You Know show? I can't remember how we started this.
Yeah.
And then we know the end result, which is awesome. But how did we get started? Did we reach out and connect with you on LinkedIn, or did you find us at Frisco Connect? Let us know in the comment section. Would love to hear about that. And also, I'm curious if you used any of the Rehumanize strategy in your job search. Did he use any videos with you?
Not with us. That wouldn't have been an option with their process.
Okay.
So that's where it goes back to, and we talked about this a little bit at Transition Point this morning. When I was a recruiting manager, I would always ask the candidate sitting across from me, tell me your worst job ever. And we always teach about don't talk negative about an employer, but I wanted them to talk to me, and then I would tell them, now sell me that job. Because I knew there would come times I had to ask them to do something they didn't want to do, they didn't like to do, and I needed to kind of see their attitude.
Yeah,
and
how to
so
approach that.
exactly. The good ones rose to the top,
good
and the
ones
bad
rose
ones
to
are
the
like,
top.
well, I can't think of anything
Absolutely.
good. But it tells me what is your ability to overcome and things like that. I'm waiting
Right.
on his response.
Because we have to go to the hiring managers and explain, guys, we recruiters are put under the microscope.
Yeah.
We really are. And you hiring managers out there need to be nicer to us recruiters because we will develop a relationship with you.
Right.
And recruiters like me, now I'm not going to put Andy in this category, but I will not, guys, hesitate to tell you where we're not meeting in the middle at.
Yeah. I think when you're open to that feedback, your recruiters are in the weeds. They're talking to
we
candidates. We're hearing feedback of frustrations or I can tell you, hey, if you wait until a third interview to try to hire a developer, they're not going to be on the market anymore. You're going to have to wrap this
Amen.
up quickly.
They'll be gone.
Exactly. And so we can have those conversations and giving recruiters a voice, letting them be the voice of the candidate is really effective. So I appreciate you saying that.
And a lot of times the hiring manager will tell us what they want. We full cycle recruiters. Sometimes we will sit for 15, 20, 30 minutes with a hiring manager to tell us what you want. We send you exactly what you want. Oh, that's not what we want. So we find out what you really want through the process. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
Help me help you. When you were
Help
talking
me.
about that movie, I was also thinking about show me the money.
Show me the money.
Exactly.
Show me the money.
Vess said job fair at Sonia Davenport.
Sonia
Yeah.
Davenport, absolutely.
South Lake Focus Group.
Got it.
We'll be
and
meeting in
then-
the morning, guys, in South Lake, 8 o'clock.
He said, I used a lot of what you said in the workshop. I have not adopted the videos fully, but I'm getting there.
Getting there. All right.
And that's where I was going with the other. They have a very set process, and particularly if there's a VMS in place, vendor management system, they have their rules, and we're not really allowed to kind of go around that system. We appreciate it when we can. If I can send you a video of a candidate, and I've used that particularly with junior dev. If you're new trying to break into a position, I recommend doing a video where you're sharing your screen and you're doing a full demo of what your work is so that I've had 2 placements that way where we were able to go back and show them, here's what they're all about, and this is what separates them from the other students that are applying for this role.
I love that.
Yeah.
So in that
Rehumanize.
context, you can use BombBomb to do that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can actually do a screen share and have yourself doing instructional videos and things like that. So that's cool. I like that
Right.
that advice. Guys, we talk a lot about video in your search and how to apply video in your search. And I know that sounds like extremely uncomfortable, and it is if you haven't done it before, which most of you haven't. But that's okay. You know, Michael Jordan was not Michael Jordan the first time he threw a basketball. And you won't be a superstar video maker the first time you make a video.
Yeah,
but
we
that's
do new
okay.
things.
Expect it, understand it, and just keep going.
Learn to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
video job pitches.
We do new things daily, guys,
Yes.
whether you realize it or not. A lot of times we don't realize it. We just end up doing it. So when you guys go to LinkedIn, what do you see a plethora of? Videos and people explaining themselves and trying to make an understanding of what it is and why I stand on this particular idea that I have.
Well, you know, it's so funny. You got Michael Goldberg. He says, videos take time. You don't have to be perfect. You need to have good content.
Yep.
A mobile device and the real you, and people will notice. One of the things that at TalentNet that we're talking about, we had the video panel up there, and you know, we were asking questions. What do you want to see in a video? Do you want to see authentic, genuine, real, or do you want to see like polished, you know, edited, scripted?
Yeah, scripted,
you know, like
yeah.
extremely high quality, high production. And it depends. There's no right or wrong answer to that. It depends on the use of the video.
Right, I agree.
I think for job seekers, you really don't need a whole lot of editing and all that kind of stuff. We don't need to see the high production, the green screen, and all that. Like,
we want to know
need
what
that.
we're
Especially
hiring.
if that's not relevant to the job you're applying for.
Sure.
So
We wanna-
whatever
yeah.
you do and whatever you share has to answer questions about what makes you qualified for this role. So when you're sharing information, if you're focused on hours and hours and hours of making it perfect, but the hiring manager isn't, that has nothing to do with what you're going to do. I think sometimes we get caught up in the details, I guess is what I'm
We
trying to
do
say.
get caught up in
Well,
the
here's a
details.
strategy that you could do. You can make videos about, you know, what you do. So, like, let's say you're in HR, right? You could. Here's something that I do is I will go to LinkedIn, find posts in the content section of LinkedIn about HR. So HR related posts, okay?
Yeah.
And then read the article, okay? Read the article and then do a video basically giving your thoughts on that article. You don't have to create content. You can recreate content in your voice, in your words. So you can go read somebody's
Yeah, that's
article
true.
Right.
and then say, hey, you know, I just read this article. It
Here
was
are my
super
thoughts.
interesting. Here are my
Yeah.
thoughts on it. You know, the article's down below, right? And you start posting this type of stuff every day, like do daily videos like this. I promise you, you're going to attract people to you.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
you will become
absolutely.
the subject matter expert in that field, and people will want to hire you.
Absolutely.
All right?
I think that's how I grew my network from 2,000 people to over 9,000 people in a year.
Ooh,
And
my
it's just
God.
getting out there and creating content and having conversations, and you know, whether it's thoughts on something or when I come across a frequently asked question, I post about it. I'm thinking about what are job seekers out there going up against, and it's just getting creative. But if you're listening and you're reading, it's proven successful people read. And so reading articles, reading books, and then talk about it, let that guide you. I love that idea.
Yeah, I think that, well, we went to Video Marketing World last year, and they were talking about video content and strategies and stuff like that. And I met a guy named Evan Carmichael, who's a really, really big influencer. He's got millions of followers on YouTube and stuff like that. He's a big influencer, okay? So I met this guy, and, you know, I'm talking to him for my own videos. I'm like, you know, hey, what should I do about editing and this and that? And he's like, just post it. He's like, what's happening is you are spending too much time. You're creating content, but it's sitting on your phone. You never post
Right.
it because you're waiting to edit and to
Yeah.
polish and to put it all together and to put the captions in and do all. He said, just post it. Just get it out there raw.
Get it out there.
I love that.
And,
I did that about 2 hours ago.
and he says, because otherwise it's just going to sit on your phone, and then by the time you actually do get to it, it's irrelevant.
Right.
He says your audience deserves to
Yeah.
hear your message. You need to get
I
it out
love
there,
that.
right? Just post it.
We
Inevitably,
move
when I
very
go to
fast.
record a video, the dogs start playing, and it sounds like I'm recording it from Michael Vick's house. Like, it's awful.
Wow.
Like, I have two big dogs, and they are so loud. So I'm like trying to record this video, and I'm like, never mind. I just give up.
They
And
want a
so,
job
but I
too.
love that.
From Michael Vick's
I'm
house.
sorry, that was inappropriate.
Wow.
I don't know another way to describe
Golly,
it. Though.
he got branded with that.
He did. He did.
Man.
See, this is where I talk to job seekers a lot about what is your brand? What do
Yes.
you want to be known
Yes.
for when people hear your name or they see your face?
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So
Okay.
branding, what does that mean to you?
So I think it goes into, it's an all-encompassing term really, but when you hear Andi cook, I want you to think, oh, she's the person who does job tips or, something like that. I don't want it to be, man, I had the worst experience with her. So from the
Yeah.
way I conduct myself to, even when I'm selecting, what am I going to wear today? What is my brand? What message am I sending out? To how do I do follow up in consultant care? My brand as a recruiter involves my relationships with candidates.
Yes. There it is.
My brand with my account executives, they know, hey, it may take me a little bit to find this person, but when I find you someone, they're going to be a good person for this job. And I kind of had that reputation. So I think that to me, as I'm building a brand, do I do what I say I'm going to do? What my integrity, am I living out what I'm saying? All of that goes into building a brand.
Here's what I see happening, guys, if you'd allow me to fuss a little bit. Here's what I see happening from job seekers, guys. You will work with a Foster, you work with an Andi Cook, and sometimes, a lot of times, the thing that we're targeting does not work out for whatever reason,
Right.
the process or something. Guys, do not throw us in the trash can.
Right.
We actually gave of ourselves to try to help. It didn't work out. It's not the first time that we didn't get what we wanted. And that's not Foster and Andy's fault.
Right.
We get a lot. I've got some things going on right now that I won't tell you guys about behind the same kind of frustration. But be realistic, guys. Treat others as you want them to treat
Yeah.
you. Okay, shut up, Foster.
No, but it's a good point because you have to remember we're on your side.
We are.
Like I have skin in this game.
Right.
And that's part of the benefit of working with a recruiter, honestly, is they have as much interest in you getting hired as you do.
Sure do.
Because Barb Bruno is my favorite recruiting trainer ever. And she says recruiters are social workers who like money. True.
Barbara.
And so, but you want people who are as invested in this as you are. And I was talking to some networkers this week about when you're networking, your job search is your priority, but it's not everybody else's priority.
That's right.
And so, but when you're talking to a recruiter, it is their priority. So that's a good person to have in your corner. And sometimes I think people shy away from working with recruiters. They think they only have contract roles. I've had quite a few perm placements. I love working perm jobs. We get those. So don't hesitate to reach out and and just tell us what you're looking for. We'll match it. We'll figure it out. And if not, we'll coach you along the way and make you a better
Absolutely,
candidate for
we
somebody
will.
else.
There are some amazing recruiters out there y'all need
Absolutely.
to connect with. I actually got another one online with us right now.
Who?
So Allie Schroeder, hey, good to see
Hey,
you.
Allie.
Allie Schroeder. The only thing wrong with Allie is Alabama. I'm sorry. I'm messing with you, Allie. I'm just messing with you.
So Allie is with VIP. We were talking about them earlier. So for your accounting and finance needs, you need to go connect with Allie.
Allie is awesome. I know her dad. He's awesome, too, and he drives a cool Corvette.
Allie, you're going to be at our Christmas party, aren't you?
Yes, I hope
think
so.
I think your dad's going to be there too. So we'll have a good time. This is going to be
I love
great.
it.
Veza's going to be there. Andy, you're
Cool.
going to
I'm
be
going to
there.
be there.
Yeah,
Yay.
all the who's. Michael Goldberg's gonna be there.
Who you know? Who you know?
It's all about who you know. I'm sorry we can't just bring everybody up to the Cowboys Club and do this holiday party, but I have a
Space is
limit.
limited.
Yeah, I have a limit, so it's already full.
I'm excited.
Now I do have about 4 spots left, only 4, for companies and recruiters. Okay, I got 4 spots left.
Yes.
So hit me up in the in the messaging if you want to come to our recruiter party. You want to come to our Christmas party at the Cowboys Club. Hit me up. I'll get you an invite. So we're excited about that. That's going to be awesome. Let's see.
It will be.
What else do
love
we
it.
got going on? Oh, I do also want to give a quick shout out to the pit crew, practice interview team.
Thank you, Mark McDonald.
Yep. Thank you so much for your service, guys.
I
You
hear
need
such
to go connect
amazing
about that.
things.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It was brought up at Transition Point, and people were just saying, guys, this is something you need to participate in.
I want you senior executive people to hear this. So let's talk. If you have been a VP, if you've been a C-level employee especially, we have a specialized group called Senior Executive Alliance. Is led by Lisa Sutton, and she is probably the most tremendous job seeker facilitator I've seen. But guys, let's talk. Foster Williams, let's connect. Let's talk about the C group and its impact in you guys' arena, because I believe that you senior level folks want to make sure that you do networking with your peers.
I'm pretty sure Lisa Sutton's going to be at the Christmas party
Good.
as well. I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Not
That's
100%.
awesome.
I think I'm 99.9
I want to
on
meet
that.
her.
That's you believe me, you do. Yeah.
Guys,
I do.
up above in the description of this video, so it's like up here or down here or something like that. Can you, Mark, can you pull this up in the stream? There is a thing down there. You click see more, and then it says digital business cards. So this is where all our resources are. We've got a lot of stuff that we would like for you to connect with. So we have our workshop. That's every Monday, 1 to 5 at Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters. We have our free professional headshots that we give out at Frisco Connect. We have a career expo at Omni Frisco. That event date is not set yet, so we'll get details out to you. We have a YouTube channel. We have a LinkedIn page and a group. All these great resources are right here, so you need to go connect with that, download that business card, and plug in with us. I think, guys, we are running out of time. I can't believe how fast this hour
I
goes.
know.
This was good. This was
Power Hour. So, guys, that is our show today. That is our show. It is all about
Who ya know.
Oh, and real quick, before you go, make sure you hit that share button and tell us what you are looking for.
And link in with Trevor, Mark, and I. Trevor Houston, Mark Elder, Foster Williams. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.